If you didn't know this, Canada is kicking butt in VR. I've got Geneviève Levasseur, who works at a company called Ingrid Ingrid, and you guys are talking about not just VR, but augmented reality as well.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about Ingrid Ingrid. This is one of the most interesting company names I've ever heard.
Ingrid Ingrid is a firm of a design, an interactive design firm, and we like to explore new form of interactivity in the public spaces.
Okay, cool.
So we like to work on new dynamic form, new interactivity, and we work a lot with the projection, the interaction projection in public spaces, and a
Okay.
lot of app and geofencing content.
Okay, so augmented reality then becomes a natural extent of what you guys have been doing, right? Yeah.
Yes, and we like the augmented reality because it's a part of it's a really potential fun to hide some stuff in the cities. So we like the idea of hide stories in the cities everywhere and catch the stories and the idea that it's the next level for the narrative experience,
Yeah.
where you can just turn around stories, see stories where nobody else sees something. So it's like a parallel world, but in the real life. So we really like the idea to work with the augmented reality.
Is it kind of like a game? Like I'm seeing these escape rooms kind of pop up all over the place. Is that something like some of the content that you guys are doing?
Yes, it could be a game, but
Yeah.
we really like to work in and surprises things. So there's a lot of company who works like you can unlock stuff when you just walking. But we like to work in non-linear
Yeah.
narratives, so we can experiment some short stories, but in the order where you are, and we like to surprise people to see some things when they don't expect it. So
That's very
yeah.
cool. What was the initial genesis for the idea? When did your team kind of come together and start to think that there might be a business here?
For that particular project, we work with a circus company, and we have a partner in Montreal, which is a really huge festival in Montreal, all in summer, and it's called Montreal-based Circus. And their idea is work to just take the cities and put some circus everywhere. So it really fit with the concept of augmented reality. So we decided to hide some more circus in a miniature format everywhere in the city. So, and we like the idea that you can just, because this is the living art, we like the idea that augmented reality can just let live the project 24 hours per day, and it's during the festival, but it's not only a representation with a rendezvous,
Yeah.
So you can just see the circus everywhere.
That's amazing. And I guess it speaks to the fantasy fulfillment of going to the circus as well, right? How do people know where to find this particular project? Because it's on the streets everywhere.
Yeah.
How would a person living in Montreal even see, where this stuff pops up?
That's an interesting question, because it's a challenge for us
Yeah.
to don't put just a big marketing promotion panel and
Yeah.
see that here there's something.
Yeah.
So we work on both sides. On the marketing side, we'll do a lot of work to just promote the app before the festival.
Yeah.
So the people are gonna have the app, and we're gonna have some strange marker everywhere in the city. So it's gonna put some a curiosity in the city.
Yeah.
With a special design in the urban furniture.
Yeah.
So they're gonna follow something, and when you download the app, you're gonna have a geofencing feature that it's gonna flash, and it's gonna notice you where you're near something. So.
Oh, cool. So is there a Pokemon collect 'em all type sort of element to
Yeah,
this as
yeah.
well? You want to get to all of the
It's
locations?
another kind of
Yeah.
Pokemon Go. Yes, there's no point, but it's
It's
yes.
just fun.
Yes.
Yeah, you want to see where everything is. You can really see, like, advertising is going to change when we start wearing wearable computers and using our smartphones. Like, is Ingrid thinking about that, or are you purely driven by trying to create art and
We're more in the
narrative?
experience. We're not. We can explore the marketing too, but we're more in the experience, the narrative stories,
Yeah.
and we are in the content. Yeah.
Storytelling has to kind of start there, right? Before the marketers kind of exploit it, right? And turn it into selling us stuff every corner we go into. All right, so this Circus, what's the product called, or the project called?
The project with the Circus is called Quand la foule devient cirque.
Okay. I'll let you say that.
Quand la foule devient cirque, with Montreal complètement cirque in the festival. And after, we hope we're going to take that experience and expand with other partners.
That's very cool. Now, is Ingrid looking at AR that's your road? Or are you also looking at other types of technologies or blending projection with?
Yes, we work a lot with projection, interactive projection. In public space, we work like geofencing, content, and AR.
Yeah. That's amazing. Now, are you thinking about working with other partners in other media, like let's say working with a television show, and then you can have an AR experience in the streets?
Yes, we'd like to. Yeah. And we work with a lot, the experience with the Circus is a good example to work with other disciplines. So we met the living art, and we just play with that and just bring the experience of the expertise of each team and work in a different way. I think that's a way to create innovation, to create with other discipline and mix digital and other expertise.
That's amazing. It feels like, we've been going to Ubisoft and speaking with other developers in Montreal, game developers, for a long time. It feels like there's a real, always this sort of cultural affinity and an artistic kind of affinity to kind of appreciate the arts in Montreal, but also now this really sort of big embracing of technology there. Is it the perfect location for you guys to dream up this crazy stuff that doesn't exist, but in a few months it will?
Yeah, honestly, the mood in Montreal is really good for that. We are really in an iteration and R&D culture, and we will all the company with who I'm working on are really on that kind of mindset. And I think Montreal is a really, really nice place to work like that way, explore and try new things. Now I would like to just exchange and work with other countries to just bring that and see how it is somewhere else, and just do partnership with other places. But I think that Montreal is really the place to be right now. Yeah.
Augmented reality is something that's really new. Does it feel like this is going to be the long run? Like you're going to be doing this for a long, like with wearables and all kinds of stuff?
Yes, I think that there are some people just questioning what's the difference between is the VR or the AR is going to survive, but it's not a battle, it's so a different experience, and I really like the VR too, but the augmented reality is there to for a long time, I think, because this is another layer for the experience in the public spaces, and we really like to explore that kind of new experience in the public spaces, and I think that we can just play with that kind of features.
I think it was Arnold Schwarzenegger who invented AR in the Terminator, right? When he was a cyborg, right? We saw that data on his screen. Wasn't that the first time we saw something?
Maybe. In the Minority Report, you remember that? Yeah.
That's fabulous. Is there a dream project that you are cooking up right now? Like you're obviously assembling all kinds of cool things for the near term, but is there something percolating like you would love to do in 5 years or 10 years?
10 years, it's so far. Honestly, I do what I like, so each day it's perfect. This is really what I like to do, and I just want to continue that kind of project in the public space. This is where I like to be. Yeah.